What's up, everybody? I am here with Miss Haley today. Haley runs an Airbnb coaching program, now a new business. If you want to talk about that a little bit, you're using Kendo for it as well. Was, again, another early customer of ours. We love Haley. She's awesome. And so we basically just want to talk about your experience and what you guys do differently with Kendo that I think some others don't do. You have a different business than like the average like B2B sales team or insurance or whatever. So you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Well, thanks for having me, Luke. I'm Haley. I am 22 years old. I do a little bit of a bunch of different things, but Kendo actually integrates into all of them, which is pretty cool. So I do Airbnb short-term rentals. I have 70 properties myself. And then outside of that, I also do info, so coaching people how to start Airbnb arbitrage. And then, like Luke mentioned, just launched a new business. It's a VA placement agency. So I utilize a lot of VAs in my own company, and I noticed that some people just don't understand that you can outsource very simple things and free up a lot of your time. So I'm using the AI to train my humans because I don't think we're to the point where AI could replace them. So Kendo's integrated in every single one of those businesses, and it's been really cool because AI is so new, and this is like my first big leverage of it, I feel like. And it's kind of opened my eyes to how much more we can, scale using AI.
Yeah, AI is awesome. Let's talk about that. What do you specifically use Kendo for in each of the businesses? And we'll get into like results and metrics and stuff afterwards. But I think you, like I said, you have a bit of a different use case, which it makes a lot of sense. Like obviously you guys use it well, but what do you do exactly with Kendo in those businesses?
Yeah. So for my personal like Airbnb business, we use Kendo to help train our cold callers. So we do a lot of cold calling to source leads, whether it's landlords, property managers. And I was like saying that I was tracking the cold callers, but I was like, record your call, but then literally I think I listened to like maybe 4 calls. So I noticed that there was some things I could improve on as like a leader, and that's kind of where Kendo filled in the gap. So all the cold callers, they use Kendo for 1 hour of practice every single day of their shift. They've been with me for over a year now, but I still, every single day, I don't care, 1 hour every day. I go in and obviously review those calls. And then we also just started having our customer service team. So the people who deal with our Airbnb guests directly, if someone's calling, they can't get into the property. I wasn't tracking how they were handling those calls. I wasn't even listening to them. So
that's a very important part too.
Yes, exactly. And with, Airbnb's algorithms changing and them being more stern and like heavy on hosts, like we need to make sure the guest experience is being matched, and I have to manage the team better. So that's how we use Kendo for the actual Airbnb business. And then for info, I use it to help train the students on how to cold call. So instead of blowing through, qualified leads their first day, I have them practice inside of Kendo with my trained prospects that you guys helped me create on different things that are really big objections when you come into the industry. Permitting, fundamentals, caps, all that stuff. So we use that to train the students. The students have gotten such better results because they're more confident. And then once they learn, they then train their team with Kendo as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the first one, because that is obviously we go after like a sales angle.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Kendo is basically just conversational AI with review, tracking, and metrics attached to that. So you could use it for customer service. We have some people do. Have you seen a good lift on the people using that for customer service, in the sense of like they can practice before? Like obviously we don't want to burn leads in sales, but even more than that, you don't want to burn like a customer because you don't know how to have the conversation. So is that what you're doing, is like role playing like problems the customers have or the experience or whatever, so that they're like ready to go on the real customers?
Yeah. So, I mean, the current team we have now, they've been with us for the 3 years basically that we've been doing Airbnb. So they know, but it's these like little things that I'm like, hey, I listened to your call and you totally should not have responded to them having issues with the lockbox in this way. Let me build you a prospect really quick so we can, fine tune how you're responding to them, because that's not up to like my standard as, your boss. Like that's not how we communicate to our clients. And it's really like with the customer service, it's more like I don't want you to say certain words,
Mm-hmm.
or like you're not allowed to, refer to a guest in certain verbiage just because it's, guest experience. So
Of course.
little things like that, it's hard to track. And sometimes they slip up because it's just normal, they're just speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can track it a lot better. So that's something that I didn't even think, because when I started with Kendo, it was just the cold callers. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, why don't I have our employees that are doing customer service go too? And
Yeah.
now I'm reviewing their calls and I'm like, what the heck is happening? Like, I'm scared.
That's the crazy thing. And like I try to tell our current customers and like potential customers that will listen to this, like you think, like there's this cliche saying is like what doesn't get tracked doesn't get improved. You think you're tracking, you think you're doing well. I swear, as soon as you turn on like a proper, like you can't lie to AI because it reviews every call. It reviews every bit of every call. There's no emotion involved. And people, like what you said happens a lot. People are like, oh, I didn't realize how bad we were at this.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like exposes you in a good way, it
I
gets
was
you improved.
humbled, but I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like, you need to be a better leader. Like, this
Yep.
is helping you be a better leader. But yeah, same thing. Like, I was saying, and I feel like a lot of people say this too. They're like, oh, my team is the best. Oh, we track them. And I was having a conversation with another host, and they kind of said the same thing. And I was like, do you actually know? Like, are you tracking how many calls they're doing, where they're not handling the objections properly? Are you seeing
Mm-hmm.
like where they're falling off? They're like, no, but we get like 5 leads a week. And I'm like, if you tracked it and you read the data, you would be able to train them better and then get better
Mm-hmm.
results.
100%.
So yeah, it's humbling, but I think everyone needs to see it because it's like red flag, improve this.
And then on the students, that's obviously a really cool use case. And for context, Haley pays for Kendo for all of her students, so she baked it like into her offer. You baked it into the guarantee, right?
Yes.
Of like you're guaranteeing they get X result if they follow X process. And
Yes.
Kendo is a part of that guarantee, which is I think really smart.
Yeah.
If you were to like quantify, I know it's hard because it's like student results. If you were to quantify like how much better are their results and their speed of results and their confidence, because they're cold calling to get deals to obviously have success in their own business. Before, what were they doing before Kendo to practice?
In the mirror. I wasn't really, because I have like a good network of people where it's like when I started, I could practice with, friends or people in, different businesses. It's different, but when you're a complete beginner, you have no one who's really in the industry. It's really hard. You're like practicing by calling, and that's terrible. So in the very beginning, it was just like, here's my scripts, here's how you should say it. But like, it's so much more than a script. It's your tonality, it's the pauses, it's everything like that. It's when you ask the questions and you leave gap for a response, like all these things that a script doesn't have, and you have to kind of just like do it to practice. So in the beginning, they were just taking the script and calling leads, and that's like the hardest part of this business too, because getting that first yes takes the longest, and it's really discouraging. And like 100, I would say 100% increase. That's not even me just being dramatic, but like significantly better results. Every single student feels more confident. So when they go pick up the calls, they actually know what to say. They actually know how to handle the objections. And I found that with the AI, obviously, it's harder than if you actually picked up the phone and called a lead, because no matter what you say, there is another objection.
Yeah.
Like, I even go in and practice and I'm like, Jesus, can I catch a break? Like, I just handled the objection. Why are you giving me another one?
That's how you practice.
I know. So it's a lot harder with the AI. So if you can master Kendo and you can, 80, 90, 100% score on Kendo, by the time you go pick up the call and you actually call a lead, you're going to know everything to say and you're going to handle it perfectly. So, it's baked into like your first week, your first month, you have to be in Kendo every single day. I don't care if you feel like you know the objections 100%, because you don't. And yeah, it's been amazing.
That's awesome. That's one thing that you do better than some of our other customers. Like I try to tell people this, they're like, oh, we'll use this for our new reps. I'm like, you need to use this for everybody. Yeah. Like especially experienced reps, they fall into bad patterns. They fall into like bad habits, Yeah. And I use the analogy, like an NBA team, they're professional athletes. If they don't have a good coach, they start going wild and doing nonsense. Like it happens at every level. It doesn't matter, you know?
Yes.
And you do that really well. Like you force people, even if they're experienced, to do it, the students to do it. And then on the business side, for people that don't know, like I'm sure a lot of insurance and like B2B teams will listen to this. Your business and info is predicated on your students having success. Like the more successful they are, the more case studies you have, the more money you make, the more money they make. It's like a win-win. And so if you're able to better guarantee or have better odds of success for them, it leads to like really direct business growth, which is awesome.
There's been a huge gap, I would say, in like the info space of, I mean, you know, like so many actual like terrible coaches, mentors, and then it ruins it for everyone else. And I mean, luckily I actually help people and have great results. So those people find me and, you know, have a great experience. But there is such a gap in, everyone tells you the fluff. You see it online. It's like, oh, you can have $100,000 months doing Airbnb, blah, 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 blah. And they like teach you how to get your first unit, and then that's it. It's like there's so many like actual business fundamentals that people don't even know about. And I mean, I've went to a lot of conferences these last couple of months and, you know, mentioned Kendo to a lot of people, and super successful business people, like millions a month, were like, oh, wow, first of all, I'm not leveraging any AI, or second of all, I actually don't really track this and have no answer to tell you how my team is performing. Yeah. So it is on all levels. I think if you can start and adopt it early, it will set you up for success as you continue to scale and grow in business, like both personally and, you know, your company.
Fully agree. Yeah. Fully agree. Let's talk about metrics here at the end of this. Like I know it's hard to quantify metrics in like every sense. First off, on the time, like I like to look at Kendo for you guys as customers. Like I want to save you time. I want to make your performance better. I want to make you a lot more money. That's like what we actually care about. So on the time side, how much time are you and obviously the people using it saving if you quantified that compared to what it was before?
I mean, I'm using it more, but that's because before I wasn't doing anything. So I spend like on a weekly basis, maybe I would say like at least 30 minutes a day in there tracking. With the call breakdown, it's very easy to see like where I need to help X employee on whatever objection. So I'm in there like 30 minutes a day for my actual company. And then really my team is like, hey, Haley, we need help with like the permitting objection. We never know how to handle it. There's so many varieties and responses. Do you think you can make some additional prospects on it? And then like I'll go make additional prospects. But really it's not that much time daily. And at the end of the week, we have Friday team calls, and that's where I show them inside my account. And I'm like, listen, this is where you're ranking next to this employee. This is where you need to improve. So it's more of like a tool for tracking. And then at the end of the week, I kind of have a report for them based on what Kendo told me. And then for the students, I mean, I'm in there every day tracking just because there's new students joining all the time. And I like to make it like a leaderboard kind of thing where it's like you're competing with each other. So I'll be like, hey, here's number 1, number 2 today. Like so-and-so's number 3. Let's get some calls going. So I'm in there pretty often, but it's really, I like numbers. I like data. And like now that I can see it and I'm tracking it, I enjoy being in there because it's like, oh, okay, if we can fix this problem that so many of our employees are having, imagine how much more money I can make. And with my cold callers specifically, we've already increased the amount of leads we're getting because they're better on the phone. I thought they were great, but I wasn't really listening, so I had nothing to compare it to.
That's hilarious.
And the students are a lot more confident. They're getting yeses quicker. Like, and with the plug and play VA service, that's how we're training them. Like we're training them in Kendo, and I'm managing them in Kendo. So 100% increase on all levels. And it's been cool to integrate it into all the businesses. Even if they're not insurance or sales directly. Everything is sales.
Everything is sales.
Yeah.
You're a really good user. Like you can sell a software to like thousands of people and still not everyone will use it how they're supposed to use it. You use it really well. Like you actually, I think, squeeze out as much as you can from it. And you haven't even seen the new update. The new update is like 100 times better. If you like data, you're going to like it a lot more. So
I'm excited.
what would you tell, like, we'll end here. I don't want to make these too long. What would you tell somebody that's watching this and is like on the fence of getting this for their team, for themselves, like your genuine experience with Kendo and how that relates to outcomes, not just like, oh, you should buy it. Like,
Yeah, no,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
I mean, software is expensive. I use a lot of software in my business. Like I have a pretty heavy tech stack,
Yeah.
but every time I invest in software, I'm like, okay, is this justified? Because it adds up. Like it's not cheap to have software, but
Yeah.
with this, I mean, it's very obvious that the return is there, and that's why I'll keep using it.
I love to hear
I know
that.
that as I scale and start new businesses, I already know the software I'm going to use. It's super easy to integrate. So I would say, like, if you're on the fence, I would ask yourself all the questions of like, what is your team currently doing? Are you actually tracking them? How are you tracking them? Like, I bet you listen to one of your team's calls and red flag that you probably wouldn't even notice before. So we're very busy as business owners. I didn't have the time before to go listen to 7-minute audio recordings and like take pen and paper notes of where you should improve. This saves me time, which is the most important thing to me, and it increases my revenue. So I would ask yourself, like, do a little business audit and, see where you're actually at, not where you think you are, and then see if this is a good fit to help improve your business. But I remember when I first started, I didn't know if it would fit into my business because I thought it was just like, I don't know, like sales, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of confusing for me at first when I first read about it, but it's amazing. Like I've integrated it in 3 different ways. And I'm excited to keep integrating it. So if you're on the fence, don't be.
That's better than anything that I could say. Wow. You're the best. You're such an awesome customer.
The team is amazing. I mean, their team is great. Luke is amazing. He's
Thank you.
extremely smart and like pours his all into it. So I go in and I'm like, Luke, can you please make something like this for me? And like next thing you know, it's there. So very great team to work with. Those are the type, when you invest in software, you're also investing in the team as well. So I'm very picky with like the software is like who's running it, who's managing it, who am I going to be working with every day. And on the very off time that I do need something from the team, they're amazing. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to show you here. We'll call this an interview. Guys, if you want to learn more about Kendo, you're probably watching this on the website. If you're not, just go to Kendo AI, sign up, book a demo. We would love to work with you. So thank you for the interview and for being such an awesome customer, Haley.
Of course. Thank you.